Chatters, my chatters, my chatters. Listen, I assure you, I genuinely really do try to see all sides. I do. And for the life of me, I try to see where two people can possibly have a misunderstanding or things of that nature. But I'm sorry, when it comes to this saga, I think it's black or white. I remember when I saw this post and I was reading it and I'm saying, this is so gosh awful, especially if you are in any type of legal litigation, any type of custody battle or divorce, because these are the posts in which judges can see or family court can see, because now you have to prove a statement such as this. You know, you have to prove when you are being dragged, or you have to prove when taking phones and car keys. You know, questions will be asked, you know, such as when car keys were taken, did you have access to a front door? Were you able to walk out of a front door? Did you have access to a window? You know, did you have access to any other vehicles? When it comes to money being taken, did you have access to any other type of funds? Was it a joint account? Did they steal? How much money was it? Did they steal out of the bank and commit bank fraud? You know, these are the slanderous statements that get you in trouble. And then when we end it with words such as canceled or not exist, you know, you are now wishing someone, if you know the definition of said words, you know exactly what that alludes to. So this paints a very dark narrative in a court of law, not court of social media. And these are also the things we see where I'm saying, why are we using social media as a weapon? And we even see this behavior and fast forward in current relationship in which this party can have a scutterbutt or an argument of some sort, and we run to social media. Just days ago, in another post and delete, you know, followers were urged to go attack Booger Boy and then have his character attacked. See, you don't have to like Robert LaTruth Hampton. You don't. But when it comes to a party saying things such as whenever they would get angry, they would lash out, when it refers to the mother of both children, and then you start to see said behavior, it leaves room. And anyone who sees things from both sides, it can say, well, it has to be some truth to what this person was saying. It simply has to be, because we're seeing this now through actions and behaviors and patterns. We had a situation in which, not even going to go backwards, but some words were said. There were apologies from both sides, and that's a step in the right direction. I truly think so. However, I don't understand why there was a public outrage for one father not speaking up. Now, a statement was made that was directed towards a 9-year-old, and this father does not share parental rights or even created this child. So there was no immediate outrage for that child's father to speak up. And I have to wonder, why do people not look at all sides like I do? Because to me, regardless of who I believe or who I support, I would say, well, that's kind of wrong, right? Well, where is this child's father? But they are praised when they make a response, you know, hours later, a day later even. But one father is held to a higher regard, and where he needs to stop what he's doing and address it immediately. Because let's face it, if we address each and everything that's said about us, we would never have time to be productive in our own lives. We simply wouldn't. Now, when it comes to a child, certain people stood up, said what needed to be said, and said child's father waited over 24 hours and made a statement. But that's not discussed. That's not something that people say, why didn't you say anything sooner? But we will immediately go to the pages of content creators. We will immediately go to that person's page and slander and attack and say, how could you support someone that doesn't speak up for children? But where was that same outrage for said father of said child? Or where was the outrage when there were other statements made? But again, not going backwards, that's here nor there. But my point is, we see these behaviors and we're starting to see certain things that the entertainer we know as Robert LaTruth Hampton has made statements regarding this exact same behavior that we are seeing a year later. Now, no one had to believe him, and probably there are going to be people that still do not believe him, and that's your right. But I always say, allow people's actions to show you who they are, because the words don't match. We can sit on our pedestals and we can recite every scripture. We can have virtual Bible study, but then if the actions don't coincide, it says, what's wrong here? Because to me, it's showing emotionally unavailable, emotionally unstable, hot-headed, quick to anger, combative, hostile, disingenuous, and dishonest, especially when angered or when triggered. Because it seems as if when angered or triggered, even with another mother of Robert LaTruth Hampton's child, we are now seeing her today angered and now contradicting statements that she's made before. All the things that we've heard Robert Hampton state, but everyone attacked him. But we are now starting to see the same behavior that he mentioned. Now, right is right, wrong is wrong, but you have to call a spade a spade. Sierra is all over the place. Once upon a time, she praised this man. Ironic. And now once upon a time, she doesn't praise this man. Ironic. And now fast forward and see what Sierra decides to do next, because once upon a time, Sierra praised Breonna Battle. And now when angered, she's certainly not sharing those same praises. We've heard before, when angered, Breonna Battle will say horrible things. And we even see this in a whole nother relationship. Not even the relationship that we're still talking about a year later. Another relationship we are still seeing, in which this party will use social media as a weapon when she is angry with a party. She will say horrible things about that party. And all of the wonderful things and how amazing this person was and is and changed and growth and praise with me goes out of the window. And now he's simply booger boy. Why? Because you're mad at him. Pay attention to people and the words that they say when they're angry. I also said pay attention to the words people say when they're drunk, because that's just my opinion. But we're starting to see here, regardless of what side you're on, some patterns and some behaviors are blatant, and a leopard will never change its spots. Because here we are again, like it or not, believe or not, but here we are almost a year later. Do we see how many people Robert Hampton has fallen out with? Because to me, and keep me honest, the same people that he started with, such as his friends and family, are the same people that are still by his side. Now, when it comes to these two women who have painted this narrative, we have seen multiple public spats in which they attacked others, fell out with others, no longer friends with others. So again, that leaves room to say, now this character that you are portraying, the actions certainly not matching. And that's just being fair. As always, draw your own conclusion and make sure to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And remember, no matter what role you're acting in, an actor will always forget their lines. Just saying. Pay attention.